Hello there, this is Noita. I have played this game quite a bit before, and I will be using this mod that allows me to edit my wands at all times because I believe it makes the game more fun and interesting. This game does take quite a lot of focus, to be honest, so my commentary may not be the best. I mean, it's not the best anyways, regardless of the game, but you know how it goes. I do normally play this game with a few other mods, but I turn them off for this series. I have a mod that makes it so that gold doesn't disappear, which I honestly find pretty annoying, but I'll keep that mod disabled for this video series. And the other mod that I've been liking to have is an infinite reroll, so that I can pick what perks I want, pretty much. But obviously that mod is pretty overpowered, so I disabled it for this series. I doubt people would find much fun watching the game if I could just pick what perks I want and get relatively overpowered as I please. Might not make for a very interesting video if I did that. Get some water here so that I can actually play the game properly. Oh no. Oh yeah. This game does have a ton of secrets, so I don't exactly plan on doing all that. Some of them are ridiculously complicated and stupid difficult to do. I have no plans for doing that in this series, and I definitely don't have any plans to do it on my own time either. I might sort of dip my toes into the little bit of the secrets that I know about, but that'll probably be just about it. This game has some of the most cryptic secrets of any game, I think. You can essentially become God. This is a very unfortunate situation. Man, it's too bad I got rid of my water so quickly. Was it worth it? Oh. Hey, I needed that water. Yeah, this is getting kind of intense already. Jesus! At least I can count on the holy mountain to have water for me. I'll be skipping over the spell refreshers, so if you see that, I'm doing that for when I come back this way, essentially. Having that right there is very good. Fungal disease, I don't know what that does. I don't know if that's good, but it's the best one they had there. Again, I do have a mod that allows me to switch out spells on the fly. That's just how I like playing the game. If you think that's too overpowered, then oh well. I wonder if that's a mimic. That took way too many shots. If I get complaints in the comments about this mod that I'm using, then that just raises my engagement. So, according to YouTube, that's a good thing. Oop, I forgot that was a teleport. Starting off on YouTube is a pretty slow process. In order to build any sort of fan base, you really just have to be persistent for a very long time and get lucky on top of that. So I do have a lot of plans for when this YouTube channel kicks off, so to speak. But this won't happen for potentially years of constant uploading. So my expectations are set low, but my ideas are set high. Very ambitious ideas. I tend to have a lot of ambitious ideas, which isn't really the best thing, because like, if you get way too involved with something that just doesn't turn out, then you've pretty much just wasted all that brain power on that project. Which, that might not be the best way to look at things. Probably shouldn't take advice from me on that. Sometimes my ideas are too ambitious and I can't realize them with my current skills, or I just get unlucky or don't get lucky enough to actually realize them. I can only hope, I suppose. My friends always tell me I have a pretty good speaking voice, that my voice sounds good, so that's one reason I decided to start making videos. It's like, well, if my friends like my voice, maybe random people on the internet will like my voice and will support me in what I do. If you think I have a nice voice, let me know in the comments. I do have plans to play reading-focused games in the future, such as classic RPG Maker horror games such as The Witch's House and Eve, so stay tuned for that. That will probably be quite a while from now because I need to get used to speaking on a mic. RPG Maker, horror games in general, I really enjoy those. I know they were very popular in early YouTube. Generally speaking, I am also starting this channel off in a pretty weird moment in YouTube. YouTube has boomed, has exploded in popularity, and so there are lots of people getting into it, even now. Like, still just tons of people getting into YouTube, making videos, recording themselves, doing whatever, and playing games and all that. I've always said that I wouldn't ever make gaming videos on YouTube and be very serious about it because I believe it's kind of oversaturated, to be honest. Okay, I think I'm gonna die here. Oh my god. Yep. There was no getting out of that one. Try number 2, here we go. It's raining. Yeah, I don't trust chaotic polymorphine. Oh. Pretty good spell I've started off with here. I did start off making YouTube videos in a pretty weird time in YouTube's life. There's like an absurd amount of gaming channels, and so it's kind of oversaturated. And despite the amount of them, people really only flock to like maybe 10 or so gaming channels, and so they greatly overshadow any new creators, regardless of if they have something really nice going to them. Of course, I haven't seen any like new creators with just a few subs. I don't watch gaming videos much, but I haven't seen many, and so that's probably pretty natural. Like, most people aren't gonna see them unless they're blessed by the YouTube algorithm or something like that, or unless they get shouted out by someone with a few million subscribers. So I'm not expecting much to happen, and not really complaining about that. Recording has been a pretty fun experience so far, and it's a skill that I'm getting better at, and I do like learning skills. Speaking of learning skills, I've been learning a language recently, and I've been slacking on that a little bit, so after I'm done with this video, I think I will probably get back to practicing the alphabet of that language. I've always liked the idea of learning a language. I think it's an interesting thing, and learning about the culture is also very interesting to me. If you know a second language, leave a comment. The language I'm learning is Japanese because, you know, why not? I'm doing it again after a long hiatus from learning the language, so I'm restarting at the beginning, which is learning hiragana, and then katakana, some kanji along with grammar, and that's pretty much where I left off the first time. I got pretty overwhelmed with a lot of new vocabulary. So when I get around to that this time, after I refresh myself on hiragana and katakana, I will probably learn words in smaller chunks. The best way to get used to hiragana and katakana is to just, once you get into like a workbook or something like that, or start learning grammar or sentences, you should replace all the romaji in English with hiragana, and then steadily as you learn kanji, replace it with kanji, so that you have hiragana with the kanji that you know. Oh, whoa. That was pretty crazy. For some reason, I just randomly thought of Bloodborne, and for some reason I want to play that now. Of course, I have no way to actually record Bloodborne right now, and I probably won't for a while. I do have plans of playing Sekiro though. I watched that on YouTube. I watched Lobos Jr. play through that game on YouTube, and I just, even though I haven't played it, I really like just like the atmosphere and how that game works. So even though I don't like super difficult video games, I do have plans of playing Sekiro. Sekiro. Yeah, I'm a weeb. Speaking of Bloodborne though, I do love Bloodborne. It's got a great atmosphere, the gameplay's very good. How many times am I gonna mention the atmosphere? But it is it's a From Software game, so I can't really not mention the atmosphere when talking about a From Soft game. Man, I'm getting too many spells. I'm getting overwhelmed over here. Double spells. Man, I can never use these right. They seem unbalanced. In like a literal sense, not in the sense that they're either too good or too bad. I just mean they're not balanced. Like, I don't feel like they have enough pros and cons to them to bother doing it, because it lowers the recharge rate, and it uses a lot more mana just for it to only cast 2 spells at once. I'm sure it's useful for some crazy combinations of spells, but I just haven't seen a good use for those. Okay, well, I got some digging now. Now I can make some good money. But I do love Bloodborne. I love the atmosphere. I like the gameplay. It's a satisfying game to play. But I feel like the game is not exactly balanced. I feel like some parts of the game are just leaning towards unfair difficulty. And I know that's gonna be a very controversial statement, but some parts of Bloodborne just left me frustrated. And I was doing fine like the whole way up to these points of the game. And I got there, just steadily get frustrated with it. Some of the areas in the game have a lot of difficult enemies, and on top of that, they have like tons of them. Just spam the enemies all over the place to where it just makes it hard to get through the level without running into one, essentially. And they're all very high level enemies, so that makes it even more annoying. I feel like the gold disappears too fast in this game. I knew that was gonna happen. Why'd I do that? If you go back and look at earlier videos of like Markiplier and Jack and PewDiePie, I want to say like 9 or so years ago, there was a phase on YouTube where they all played horror games. Just horror games non-stop. Obviously PewDiePie has his Amnesia, Markiplier, like classic Markipliers, all sorts of horror games, and so it's almost like you had to play horror games at this specific time, and then before you know it, you have just millions of subscribers. I just think that's interesting. Like, Cry, who has been cancelled for obvious reasons, Cryaotic, however you say his actual name, I would just say Cry. He's got like 2 million subscribers or something, and if you look back on his channel, he played horror games in that specific time period. And you look at PewDiePie, yet horror games in that specific time period, and Markiplier, and I'm not sure as much with Jacksepticeye because I don't watch him as much, but those major players on YouTube all got their start playing horror games, and I feel like YouTube was structured, like the YouTube algorithm was structured in such a way to basically give those YouTubers who played horror games at that time like a big boost in views and subscribers, and I feel like they just played the right game at the right time, and pretty crazy how well it worked out for them. Of course, they probably weren't even planning for that or anything. They were probably just like, I want to play a horror game and record it on YouTube because I'll be terrified and I'll scream a lot. And then it turns out, hey, that's like the best thing you could have possibly done for your entire channel and for your entire channel's existence. So, good job with that. I'd like to see some sort of like documentary on that. Of course, if you play horror games now, I mean, they might still be popular, but there's no way you'd be getting like millions of views on them if you just started out of nowhere. And those videos are some classics. Like, even today they still get talked about, I think. That could just be nostalgia talking as well. I don't have any plans for playing any horror games myself on this channel. Horror games is something I just really can't do. I can watch something scary, I can easily watch someone play a horror game, but if I play one myself, like, I always just end up hiding in a corner somewhere and being too scared to leave the room. Playing a horror game is a nightmare for me, so it's unlikely that I'll be playing any horror games on this channel. But you never know. Yo, how did he get in here? That's illegal. Let's see what new useless perk I get to get. I have an iron stomach. Ooh, these aren't too bad actually. Melee immunity for sure. Now I am immune to like half of the enemies in this game. Watch this. Haha, you can't kill me. This is when this game starts getting difficult. If you struggle with this part of the game, one thing I've noticed is that they can't shoot directly up. So if you can get to the point to where you're directly above them, that helps a lot. How does one even get known on YouTube? It seems like that's just a mystery to me. You have probably at least hundreds of thousands of videos uploaded every day, with many of them being first-time YouTubers. How do you find these videos? Like, how would you even find this video? Just by some unimaginable luck, this video might have been like just on the side, and for some reason you decided to click on it. It's just unfathomable. Unfathomable. I consider myself a realist in these terms. Some people might mistake that for pessimism, and I don't think that's quite right. It's not a pessimistic thing to say that hundreds of thousands of videos are uploaded every day. That's just realistic. shiny orb. I'm drowning over here. If I kick this too many times, it has a chance to kill me. Yeah, I don't... Oh, wait. Oh, every time I kick that ball, I'm risking dying. That was a waste of time. Please. Did I ever mention this is a hard game? Because Noita is a difficult game. I'll prove it. I knew it was gonna explode. But it didn't kill me, so... Oh god. Hello there, and welcome to episode 1 of Noita. That was embarrassing enough to start the episode over again. Good old purple spark bolt. Not my favorite. Slime balls. Of course he's immune to that. He produces that. Using this saw blade's very dangerous. Oh boy. I don't understand the developer's decision to make gold disappear so quickly when a lot of enemies in this game drop a puddle of harmful liquid when they die, and so their gold nuggets gets trapped in the liquid and you can't get it. It just doesn't make much sense to me, so I might re-enable that mod if I die again. It's one of those questionable decisions that they decided to keep in the game and not change. I played this game since early access. It's been there since then. I was always silently hoping that they would remove that, and there's been a lot of complaints about that feature, but they're sticking to it for whatever reason, and that's fair. Like, if they don't want to change it, that's up to them. They made the game. And they also allow us to change it ourselves if we want to learn how to make a mod of that, and luckily someone already has. I should have just kept it enabled. I think my favorite games are games with attention to detail. Excuse me, why did that happen? I didn't do anything. What am I supposed to do about this? So another really frustrating thing about this game is that this guy will just get mad at you for no reason. I don't know what I did. Jesus. Alright, so that's part of a secret, and I think, let's see. Okay, that's a weird noise. I think I need normal teleportium. I don't think it works with unstable. I could be completely mistaken though. Yeah, that didn't take me anywhere. I'm not sure how I'm gonna be editing this video yet. For my first video, the RimWorld video, I pretty much just cut out every silent part. And for my Dragon's Dogma video that I released earlier today, I tried to keep from editing out too much so that you can see the story unfold and kind of see where I was going. I'm not sure I'm gonna edit this one. Making content is... I'm not gonna say it's the hardest thing ever, of course, but it's a pretty involved process. Just going through recording, which is its own fiasco. You gotta get all the settings set up initially, and some of them are pretty confusing and you don't know what they're gonna do. And then once you get on the mic, you're like, okay, I'm playing a game now, what else? What the heck do I talk about? That's challenge number 2. Well, really, that's challenge number 1. What the heck do I talk about? I have this theory that people like it most when you talk about stuff that's not related to the game, but talking about stuff that's related to the game is the most natural thing you can do, because of course you're playing a game, it's right in front of you, you can talk about that. But what leads to the most interesting conversations and interactivity with and interaction with viewers is talking about other stuff that viewers can relate to and discuss, and likes and stuff like that, and like saying he threw a piece of dynamite at me, or like I thought it was just one guy and it was actually 2 people, so I'm surprised that they threw 2 pieces of dynamite at me. There's not really much you can say about that. It's just kind of like, haha, that's pretty funny. Haha, that's pretty funny. And that's pretty much the end of that. But if you say like, I don't like Bloodborne, Bloodborne's a terrible game, then you'll definitely get some reactions and discussion out of that. Which is not an opinion I hold, by the way, so you can put your pitchfork away, sir. And so it's not as easy as just saying what's going on in the game, or like being a sports commentator. You gotta think about stuff to say that's not related to the game, because honestly I think that's more interesting, and that's not hard, especially, or that is difficult, especially for me. Talking about yourself is not easy. I don't know where the fuck I went. That was so dumb. That was my dumbest death yet. Try number 3. Seeing an acid potion here is immediately a good sign, because that means when I'm on fire, I'll have to douse myself with pure acid. I don't talk much, in real life, which I have mentioned before, and if you're watching all my videos, you're probably gonna get tired of hearing the same things over and over again, but look at it from my perspective. No one's gonna watch, I don't think anyone is going to give a shit enough to watch like all my videos, especially not right now, when I have the only 2 subscribers I have are a couple of friends of mine that are helping me out with the channel in ways, like giving me feedback and stuff. Well, one friend and my girlfriend, it is. So it's basically like showing your mom a drawing you made, and your mom's saying, "Oh, that's very nice, honey. We're gonna put this right on the fridge." But anyways, from my perspective, I don't know what order people are gonna be watching these videos in, and so if you're watching them all, thank you very much. You might get some repeated discussions here and there because these are thoughts that I want to sort of get out there and talk about and generate discussion on, or like act as disclaimers for any new viewers. Like, obviously someone might be more interested in Noita than RimWorld, and also there's the thing to consider that RimWorld was my first video, and so I was not very good at commentating, and I'm still not. So I can restate some of the things in these videos that are more likely to keep the reader's attention for a long time. Well, not a long time, but longer than my first ever video, since I have improved a little bit. Every single video I make, I will improve a little bit, slowly at a time. And so, as I make more videos, I'm sure they will generate more traffic than the older ones, and like, that if I say something in like the first ever episode and never say it again, then those people that are watching the newer episodes that have some smaller improvements aren't gonna know that, or have that disclaimer or anything like that. So I figure I can repeat myself sometimes. In these conversations, if I go on a tangent, I might just never finish my original thought because I might get distracted by something in the game and then lose my thought process, and then I won't remember what I was saying before, or my tangent will just keep going on, and I eventually forget the main point of what I was talking about, and then eventually I might remember what I was talking about, and then just kind of awkwardly bring it back up again. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, Bloodborne. Oh, by the way, Bloodborne. But Bloodborne, yeah. I realize I've mentioned Bloodborne a lot in these videos. I don't know why. I don't know why Bloodborne's on the mind. I haven't even played that game for a long time. I suppose Bloodborne is a little less eye-rolly to mention than Dark Souls because of the history of people talking about Dark Souls. It's like, oh, as it turns out, Dark Souls is a pretty good game, and Dark Souls is like the best game ever made, and if you don't like Dark Souls, I remember when Dark Souls was like not popular at all. My friend just showed it to me because like he thought the game cover looked cool or something. I was like, okay, I'll play it. And I played it, I'm like, wow, this is like unlike anything I've ever played before. I've never played a game like this, and this is really cool. I think it had a small cult following when I played Dark Souls for the first time, and I have very fond memories from it. And then these days, of course, you have every other game coming out being a Dark Souls clone, so-called. Which I think that happened more so a few years ago. I don't think that's happening as much now. Of course, there are still lots of Souls-like games coming out, lots of Souls-like games in general. But I think they've petered off a little bit, maybe. Oh, I thought that was a different perk. I guess I didn't read what that did. So now spells, I have boomerang spells, and enemies explode upon death, but I gain immunity to explosive damage. I definitely should have read what that perk did. I thought it was the one that gave a chance that the other perks wouldn't disappear. Boy, was I wrong about that. Why are they dying so easily? Aw yeah, Berserkium, watch this. Oh no. Wait. I'm immune. Ha ha ha. I'm immune. But not to fire. Ouch. I have never seen that item before. Oh no.